since apparently nothing wants to go right for me today, we're going to do this video again. So I just wanted to do a video, and it's going to be faster now because I'm irritated because this is however many attempts down the line because things keep going wrong. I wanted to show you how I think about deck building so you have an idea when you go to make your own. First, we're starting with the cult deck I made. This deck is, for me, is specifically made for cult. I have a friend that's trying to call out. And so a couple things I thought about when making the deck. One, cult has trouble with pressure right now. High pressure decks or even spam decks, cult has a little bit of trouble with. So added the back kick to make sure you can get out of that. Also thinking, absorb, what can he follow up with? Well, he can follow up with a jab, you know, but if you really want to punish somebody that's pressuring you, you need charge attacks. And so I made sure that he could always get to one of his charge attacks at all times. And I can tell you right now, even though I'm playing Windfall, this deck gives people trouble. It's a trading deck. It's a counter deck. I won't say counter. It's a trading deck, and it's a poke deck. And you'll see why I say that in a second. And I knew that for him, this would be beneficial because as of right now, he's playing very defensively. So I was like, okay, not going to change the core of what this guy is. He probably thinks everything through. So if he's going to play a defensive game, then I need to build him a deck where he can be defensive. But I wanted him to have the offensive options because this game is, you need to find a balance between the two. So one thing which I'm really glad has worked for him, because I made this deck, I've been tweaking it. I still don't like the last combo too much, but I'm gonna wait and see how he uses it and see if it actually works the way I want it to. Anyway, so he's using the old deck build. My thought process, again, he's very defensive, so keeping people at range would be beneficial to him. Also, starting his offense at range would be beneficial. So I threw in this crane punch. Insane range, fairly fast. I mean, not a close-up starter, but the range on it allows it to be a distant starter. And what I've noticed him doing is he might absorb into a dodge into a crane, or he might correctly dodge and punish with it, which is really cool. And I think the crane does decent damage. Let's see. Crane does 72. Nothing too crazy, but it's good for a punish. So then I was thinking he needs to be able to keep his offense up, especially against Windfall or people that like to dodge. He needs to be able to continue his chain, because I saw him having trouble with that. So this is one of the best fucking follow-up moves off of a quick attack, because a lot of people have trouble with dodging it and whatnot. And I think part of that is because we're not 60 FPS, so it looks like it has pretty much no startup. If you gold chain it, it's definitely not unbeatable, but it gives a lot of people trouble. So I was like, okay, I'll throw that in there. And then let's see what I finished on. That's just to punish anybody still trying to do something. Quick attack that has some range to it and some okay damage. But here's the cool thing. Remember how I said he can always get back to his charge attack? That's like, the scissor kick into grab punch is pretty fucking sexy. But anyway, he can like I said, he can pretty much always get to his charge attacks, which is cool. What was I gonna say? But this has a lot of mix-up potential. He can go into scissor kick from here. Ah, shit, I fucked it up. If you go through with the combo, you can go to scissor kick from there. You can go to charge uppercut, which probably wouldn't work too much, but if you really scare people, it might. What was the other one? See, I don't know the mix-ups perfectly well, because I'm not the main user of this deck. I do like that, so I'm not a fan. So he actually has this as a starter on his chain. Not the biggest fan of that, but I do like a good rolling uppercut, and I think it's a very good follow off of the scissor kick. It's a very smooth follow. And so the biggest thing like to think about is, one, think about your weaknesses. What weaknesses do you have? What do you need to be able to counter with your deck? And then two, think about how you play. Now this stance he's not really going to be in a lot because his attacks don't really come back to it. So, but I wanted him to be able to use it, so I gave him a quick jab, which has range, so that he can start off with it. Now I gave him Drunken Paw because he's not going to be in it much, and nobody's going to really be ready for that Drunken Paw. And it also avoids, so he's probably going to get good punishes off of it. What does it go back into? And then it goes right in the rolling uppercut. That's really cool. And then this is his guard break stance. I'm a big fan of this front guard break kick. To me, it's like the best one. And it stuffs a lot of shit. It's fairly fast too. So I just really enjoy it. This combo, so this is the one I'm working on. So remember, he likes to start off from rolling uppercut. But I was trying to figure out what would be the best follows. And so I was thinking, he's not really going to be doing that combo a lot, is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's more going to be a mix-up punish combo. And so what I mean by that is, so the base combo, rolling uppercut and a low kick into tornado kick. But what he can do is rolling uppercut into low kick into grab punch. And so then you get people used to trying to avoid that damn grab punch, and you throw the tornado kick. No, I'm sorry, that's jump kick. I always fuck it up. You get people used to that, and you can punish them with the jump kick because it has a lot of range on it, and it's a low avoid, which might also help. What else? So that's what I'm thinking on that, but I'm still working on that last combo. But the biggest thing for me was making sure he could get to his charge attacks, making sure he had quick starters, making sure he had a range starter, and then an anti-pressure combo. So the back trip kick is really meant to change his defense to offense more than anything, or just to get somebody off of him for a second. What else can I do from there? Oh, that goes right back into that. Okay. And then any other like holes or gaps that, I mean, y'all are seeing, he'll find and as he's playing, and then fix from there. Because I asked him, I always ask, what do you prefer and stuff, and he doesn't really know yet, or he doesn't know, or he didn't care at the time. I don't remember. So my biggest thing was, okay, I'm gonna make a base deck, and then from there, I can show. From there, him playing will show him the holes in it. Oh, so that's how you change in this thing. I did not know that. Okay. Cool. And then I'll show y'all how I think about my deck. So I play Windfall, right? The whole idea of Windfall is I need to be able to punish off with the dodge. And so I have a pretty fast deck, mostly. All my punishes are pretty much on my alternates, because I'm a big fan of that. I like to have fast strings and then be able to get to my punish attacks. But still, I don't do a lot of damage. I think my max damage is like 120 at most. I don't even think it's that. I think it's 118 because it's my leg breaker. I like leg breaker because it's got range like a motherfucker on it, and I like my guard break kick. And so I built my deck around that shit for the most part. So like I said, I have fast strings that mess with people, high lows that will hopefully keep people from trying to avoid dodge and things like that. I don't think this combo ever misses, especially if I land the first hit. I don't think I've ever had anybody deal with it, which is really funny now that I think about it. More people try to deal with this one, and so this is my pressure combo. It's not like the worst, but people will get caught up in it. So what I'll do is I'll see how long I can keep somebody in it sometimes, right? Not every time, but sometimes, especially if somebody's not adapting quickly to it. I'll see how long I can keep them in there and then throw a guard break. And the reason why I do that is because normally if they're stuck in this, they're thinking about how do I get out, and so they're blocking. And so I can't do this forever. You're blocking, I'm doing this. I'm just not gonna get as big of a reward as if I do this twice and then throw a guard break and land it. It's gonna break your guard. It does basically 50% stamina damage. So one of the goals of my deck is to just get your stamina down as far as I can and throw a guard break. Now I run into a little bit more trouble with people that just don't care and just eat the attacks so that they can gain stamina back. It's kind of a win-loss little piece, because it's like I do get like damage on them, but then they're gaining their stamina back. So, but so far this has been working a lot for me. And then back here I just have Sooty UK or whatever that shit's called. Decent range, pretty fast. I got it because before the game came out it looked like a slap, and so I was like, that's pretty funny, even though it's like a neck chop. And then because it's 2 highs, which I don't like, but I kind of need it in order to do the trip kick, I ended on the trip kick because I couldn't find anything else from this combo that I liked at all. And so I can go back into my kick combos here, and then so yeah, so that's basically how I do stuff. And then what's here, and then that's rolling uppercut on my alternate. And so yeah, so you can be creative with your deck. Just the biggest thing is think about, what are my weaknesses, what am I trying to accomplish when I fight, what are my go-tos, what are my openers type things. Just think about it. It'll become more apparent as you play online or against your friends where your holes are in your deck. This deck took me 3 days to make this one right here. This shit right here took me 3 days to make, and it's been fairly effective at mixing people. And it's pretty much a straightforward deck. I like my attacks to loop. Which one was I doing? This one catches people sometimes. Or I could do that, catches people sometimes, because whole point of leg breaker is to catch people dodging and hopefully get them to stop dodging. That catches people. It's fairly straightforward. This is my tracking combo. That's purely meant to close space while attacking. Sometimes it messes with people, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see what I can do straight from here. Go straight back in the guard break again. Alright, what's this one? So yeah, so it's fairly simple, but I think what catches people is I have a lot of different options to get back to the move that you see the most. I can pretty much always get back to, and that's what messes with people. They don't know when they're coming. Are they coming early, coming late, back stance, front stance, when are they coming? So that messes with people a lot. But like I said, my whole game plan is get you to turtle up a little bit so I can throw the guard break kick out. Break your guard, I get a free punish, usually going to be leg breaker or another guard break. I like the other guard break option, to be honest, because if I'm not mistaken, it's still each stamina. I could be wrong, but even if it doesn't, it does decent damage. So yeah, so that's how I thought about my personal deck, and so far it's been working. So hopefully this video has been able to help you a little bit. If it has, I'd appreciate letting me know in the comments. And then yeah, so comment, like, and subscribe, and all the extra bullshit. Even though YouTube doesn't pay me, it just looks cool to me. I can be like, people like my shit, and that'd be nice. So ending the video here, and then if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. Peace.